are FTC Team 7105, and in this video we will be discussing how to make the Team Plan section of the FTC Engineering Notebook. The Team Plan is one of the required journal sections. You must have this section in your journal to win awards. In this video, we will talk about all the information you must include in your Team Plan. Your team plan can consist of either a business plan, a strategic plan, or sustainability plan. You can include one or more of these, and you can choose whichever you want. Often, teams do either a business plan or a strategic plan and then incorporate a sustainability plan into the business or strategic plan. Business plans show how you plan to manage your team, what your fundraising or outreach goals are, and identify the areas of responsibility of your team members. Strategic plans show the specifics about how to meet your goals. Sustainability plans show how you plan to recruit new members to keep the team alive as students graduate. This could also include how you plan to train new members and pass the leadership of the team on to new members. In this video, we're going to talk about the business plan and sustainability plan. If you choose to do business plan, there are 3 things it needs to contain: a budget, an outreach summary, and team structure. When making your budget, first divide your expenses into categories. For example, travel, competition, registration, robot parts, etc. Then estimate how much you're going to spend in each category of expense. And then, throughout the season, you keep track of how much you actually spend on each of those categories, so you can compare your estimated expense to your actual expense. Your budget should also include your income and source of income. If you get your money from fundraising, you should record what fundraising events you did and how much money you raised. If you have sponsors, then you should include how much they gave you, their names and logos, and information on how you plan to promote your sponsors. You're supposed to include any sponsor information that you have in your team section, but you should also include it here in the budget. To the right is a page of Team Lightsaber's budget from their business plan. Team Lightsaber's journal is one of the 4 example journals that FIRST provides. As you can see, they have the sources of income with how much they planned on receiving from each source and how much they actually got. And then they have how much they plan to spend on each different aspect of the challenge, compared to how much they actually spent. On the left is a page from Team Black Frog's budget. Their journal is another of the FIRST example journals. Their budget is similar to Lightsaber's, except it has a reflection on the end with notes on the budget. Your business plan should also include a summary of your outreach. Because you already have to record your outreach information in your outreach section or team section, this doesn't have to be super long. It should just be a brief description of how much outreach you've done and the outreach you plan to do in the future. Your business plan should also include your team structure. This also should be in your team section as well, but you should repeat it again here. Just describe what roles you have on your team and how you manage your team. Finally, we are going to talk about the sustainability plan. If you choose to make a sustainability plan, it needs to include 5 things: the team structure, a SWOT analysis, an action plan, the team goals, and details on how you plan on training rookie members and staying competitive. The first thing your sustainability plan needs is your team structure. This is the same as required in the business plan and team section. You need to write about your team roles and how your team works. Next is the SWOT analysis. To conduct a SWOT analysis, you need to brainstorm what your team's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are. Strengths are anything that your team does well or sets you apart from other teams. Common strengths are sponsors, size of your team, and growth. Weaknesses are sometimes a little hard to separate from threats. Weaknesses are just anything that your team doesn't do very well, but don't necessarily threaten your existence as a team. For example, one of our weaknesses that we determined in one year was that we didn't have any CNC tools, and some of our other tools like 3D printer were low quality. So having low quality tools hurt our team, but we were still able to continue as a team, so they weren't threats. Opportunities are anything that already have or probably will lead to greater growth as a team. Threats are similar to weaknesses, but they are anything that is actually a risk to your existence as a team and could possibly prevent you from competing in coming years. Common threats are loss of sponsors and loss of members. After you determine what your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are, the next step is to create an action plan. That is, you need to decide on actions you could take to eliminate your weaknesses and threats. For example, if you determine that one of your threats was losing sponsors, you should describe how you plan to keep your sponsors or find new sponsors. After you create a SWOT analysis, next you need to lay out both your short-term and long-term goals. Short-term goals are just for the current season. Some common short-term goals are making it to state competition, learning more about a certain subject, or gaining a specific sponsor. Long-term goals are for multiple years. After you lay out your goals, you need to address how you train your rookie members and how you plan on staying competitive. On some teams, the older members teach classes for the newer members. Sometimes, mentors teach the new members. However your team teaches new members, you need to record it in your sustainability plan. So that's how to meet the requirements for the team plan section of the journal. You can also include extra information in your team plan if you like. The content discussed in this video is just the bare minimum of things your team plan should contain. Thank you for watching this video. To learn about the other required sections of the engineering journal, please be sure to check out our other videos.